Sucker Punch has torpedoed their own reputation, not because of gameplay issues, not because Ghost of Yōtei looks like an asset flip of Ghost of Tsushima. No, it's because the face of their new game just proudly aligned herself with a group that the government has literally called a terrorist organization. You heard that right. And instead of putting out the fire, Sucker Punch is just letting the blaze burn down their entire studio. Ghost of Yōtei's voice actor declared that they're part of a terrorist organization. Yes, Erika Ishii, the face of the literal game, Ghost of Yōtei, is part of a terrorist organization by the name of Antifa. Yeah, and Pirate Nation tweeted this out, and it started a scorn of backlash against Ghost of Yōtei. And you could even see, for context, for the community notes, Trump announces he's designating Antifa as a major organization. So, just when things couldn't get worse for Ghost of Yōtei, they got worse. They're getting worse, and they're going to keep getting worse here. The backlash to this is instant, guys. You got everything from legal experts that are starting to joke about asset freezes, fans filled comment sections with RIP Charlie Kirk memes, and it's all tying back to Sucker Punch already being under fire for Drew Harrison, who is the dev that joked about Kirk's death with that Mario Brothers joke. Now, this isn't just some internet dogpile, guys. This is literally the fan base saying loud and clear, we don't want your politics, we don't want your drama, we just want a good game. And the numbers don't lie here, guys. The Ghost of Yōtei trailer that they put out the other day has more likes than dislikes. Literally 2.5 to 1. The comment section is wall-to-wall people saying, not my ghost, and justice for Charlie, are flat out saying, I'm not buying this game. Here's the kicker, though. Not only has Sucker Punch lost the faith of the right, but they're managing to piss the pants off the left on Blue Sky. When you're alienating everyone, you truly achieve a speedrun of how to kill the hype for your game. Now, I've made a video or two in the past of Erika Ishii, talked about how they are an activist, how there was a lot of stuff on their social media that declares, in my book, that they're an activist. And I was blocked ahead of time by them as well, which also points to signs that they don't like people that go against their narratives. This isn't going to work out for them, okay? And this is recently after they just fired somebody else that was an activist, Drew Harrison, for celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. They fired that individual. They still didn't make a statement. Is Erika Ishii going to face something? I don't think so. But we're going to talk about this today. Let's take a look at the actual tweet dated July 20th, 2020. I'm Antifa, so is my wife. And that went under the radar for quite some time. Until recently, like we mentioned. And this is coming days off one of the studio heads and co-founders of Sucker Punch Productions said that they think, as a studio, that they align, they think, where this is not tolerated. Well, this is the face of your game. This is literally the face of the game, the main character, the main voice actress, proudly saying they're Antifa, which is now labeled a terrorist organization by the administration. Big yikes, dog. Anyways, you can see they're being called out. Bill says you're part of a terrorist organization. They are tagging the FBI and the FBI director, saying, look, served up on a platter. You can see, shut up, retard. You're the dumb bitch who's going to be costing your employer millions and will be getting the game boycotted. Your big fucking mouth tanked the game's PR, fucking over an entire team of people. What a piece of shit. Happy Terrorist Day. Good FBI knows who to come. I mean, guys, PlayStation, do you support this terrorist? Is what they're saying. And yeah, this is again coming off of them saying that they don't align with this. They think. Remember that? Remember that story? That half-assed apology. This is how you know they didn't mean their apology. Sucker Punch didn't mean their apology because Erika Ishii is the face of the game. Now, sure, maybe it's a little too late for them to go and redo the lines and the assets and stuff, but where there's smoke, there's fire, guys. It's not coincidence that we had a senior dev, Drew Harrison, that was cheering on Charlie Kirk's murder, who is an activist, and then the face of the company is an activist. There has to be more. That's why Sucker Punch hasn't come out and properly given a statement. They just had an apology in the middle of an interview on GameFile that was exposed on Kotaku, ironically enough. You see, hey loser, how does it feel to officially be classified as a terrorist now? You're now a terrorist and your wife. This is a big yikes. And again, they're even sending the whole tweet from our president saying that they are pleased to inform many USA patriots that they're designating Antifa a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster as a major terrorist organization. So, Erika Ishii, are you proud of being Antifa now? Sucker Punch Productions, what are you going to say about this? This is coming at the worst possible time that it could possibly come out at. Big time. I don't know. I think this game was already under a microscope. It was also already under fire. And now you have this. You actually have people coming at Erika Ishii for saying that she is a Antifa. So let's see what Sucker Punch says. They still haven't come out, and they're even being canceled by Blue Sky now because they fired Drew Harrison. You try to please one group of people, you mess up. You mess up, you go woke, you go broke. That's the facts, man. And now they bit the hand that feeds. This is going to be a disaster in the making, and sure, because it has Sony attached to it, PlayStation attached to it, it'll still do decent. But I can't support this game. So Erika Ishii is a self-admitted Antifa, which by definition now is part of a terrorist organization, whether you like it or not. But the funny thing is Sucker Punch going to condemn this? Probably not, because they were too scared to make a statement about firing Drew Harrison, who celebrated Charlie Kirk's murder. Remember this? It was in this GameFile interview, which was also hidden into a Kotaku article. They said that Drew's no longer an employee here. I think we're aligned as a studio. So they couldn't even admit that it's not appropriate. They said, I think we're aligned as a studio. Remember, this is a studio co-founder and a studio head. No backbone at all. And this is supposed to be their apology. I think we're aligned as a studio that celebrating or making light of someone's murder is a deal breaker for us. So they think about that. They can't just say, hey, that's a deal breaker. It's, I think, as a studio, and we condemn that kind of in no uncertain terms. So kind of in no uncertain terms, isn't that contradictory? There's no such thing as kind of in no uncertain terms. That's sort of our studio, and that's kind of where we are. So this guy didn't even have enough backbone to stand by what he's trying to say. He's trying to please everybody, and that's the problem. If you try to please the vocal minority of wokies, you're going to mess up. They're already boycotting this game on Blue Sky, or threatening to, because Drew Harrison was fired, and rightfully so. But if you're firing that person, and you're scared to admit it, then you must be super scared of Erika Ishii, because they came out and said that they're Antifa. Albeit it was years ago, but they still haven't deleted that tweet. They still have a lot of activism in their social media post. They still say a lot of activist things, including stuff that's anti-MAGA. And there's a lot of stuff coming out about this studio. And like I said, where there's smoke, there's fire. If they're too scared to make a statement about Drew Harrison, that screams to me that they're too scared to make a statement about anybody, because there's plenty of activists in the studio as we speak. That's a big yikes. That is an entirely huge yikes right there. Again, where there's smoke, there's fire. This interview, this little apology in this interview was terrible. It sucked. They literally do not care that people are angry at them. In my most humble opinion, of course. But it's looking bad. It's looking quite terrible. It's looking quite bad for this studio, which is unfortunate, because Ghost of Tsushima was such a modern day masterpiece. And now Ghost of Yōtei looks like it's having even more backlash than what Assassin's Creed Shadow had. If you could believe that. Which, that's hard to believe. I think this game is in big trouble. There's too many red flags to ignore at this point. And to be honest, like I said, I'm not even interested in playing it, especially when there's a lot of activism involved behind the scenes, and you have somebody like Erika Ishii who's a proud Antifa. Yeah, that's a big yikes for me, dog. Sucker Punch has been messing up left and right as well. So I'm going to leave it right there, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that subscription button if you haven't, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching.